actually, this was inspired because I have a past container that I ran, which was called Turned On Money. And the idea was it was a 30-day challenge to turn on your money mojo again and really just like see what magic. It's kind of like a space that you can come into and just like play with your manifestation powers, but also like play with your magic. So, since pleasure is our magic source as women, when we pair it with abundance, like what is possible. So it's a space to sort of be witnessed in the small and big miracles that can happen when you are pouring pleasure into money. So, anyways, it's going into this bundle right now. I love this container. I haven't been active. It was like 2 years ago I ran this program. But there's this pleasure bundle that's coming out that another woman is putting together. That's all of these different, it's like a wide array of pleasure practices or pleasure programs. And I thought, oh, well, Turned On Money is the perfect one. I'm going to put this one in. So it's just like it's got life coming back around it. And so I just thought, since I was playing around with it, let's do this week's training on why Money Mojo is so important for a woman when she is in leadership and when she is building a business. Because most women have been taught that, let's say, ambition and desire need to exist as separate things, right? Which is so wrong, because again, if pleasure is our power source and our magic, like we want to absolutely marry the two. So well, I just want to help women get rich because I know women are so much more likely to do good things with their money. And because we are abundant and creative and powerful, like it's just that is why the pockets of women should be filled. So we don't have to pick to be one or the other. We can be both. And this is also why this split has kept so many talented women who are just literally choosing to stay broke because they feel like they have to choose the meaningful work over getting paid, which is also absolutely ridiculous. And that just feeds, honestly, suffering versus thriving. And also that suffering does not fit in with pleasure work either. So Money Mojo, like it can be about manifesting, it can be about creating the vision boards, but most importantly, and as we've talked about on these calls so often, like it's just more nervous system work, right? Because when a woman is disconnected from her own pleasure, from wanting things fully, from being able to like be expressive completely and openly without apology, what she ends up doing is her negotiations are weak, right? Because she underprices or she thinks that she has to over deliver to compensate for what she's asking, which means she's just going to end up burnt out. And she's apologizing for her rates in her DMs before a client even like objects. So it's like, it's just bad energy goes out. So the shift with playing with Money Mojo, which essentially is Turned On Money, is we're really honoring that desire is data. So if you feel numb or resentful or crunchy or closed off around money, that is just information about misalignment that is existing somewhere. So the misalignment might be in your offer, it could be in your pricing, it could be in the permission that you're giving yourself. It could also be in the permission that you're giving your potential client. If you feel turned on, this is like you're going to be expansive, you're going to be hungry. And so when you think about a number, then it feels good and sexy and juicy and you feel inspired. That's your body telling you that it is aligned and available to you. So also, if it feels misaligned, doesn't mean that it's not accessible. It just means that, okay, what's the work that you have to do to alchemize the sticky energy? And we're going to go through some prompts, some journal prompts later. So have your journals or notes in your phone nearby. Because essentially, this is the thing. We want a woman connected to her money mojo, because in this place, she's not going to be chasing clients, right? Because if you are turned on, this is, and this is what I love, is the whole concept of kinky business too, right? Is you become irresistible to your audience, because what they see is a woman who is finally standing fully in what she knows she is worth. And that is not greed, that is alignment. And alignment is what will pay you. Um, okay, so there's kind of three core pieces that I want to address. So the first one was Money Mojo and how this has to do with nervous system and alignment, not just mindset positivity. That I'm all for that. And I do think that will also expand your magnetism. But again, if you're pairing pleasure with money mindset, if you're pairing pleasure with nervous system alignment. The second was the thing that I mentioned about desire as data, right? So this just means that we are starting to read our signals better. So numbness and resentment, what comes up around money? Where are you uncomfortable? Where is this showing you that your misalignment exists? And then being able to follow expansion and your inner hunger as where it is signaling your truth. And then the last one that again I love, and why I think is where I have seen my success. It's why I love kinky business so much. It's why I think some female embodiment spaces are not as powerful as others, because they're just focused on the feminine. But Money Mojo for a priestess is when her masculine and feminine are, you've heard me say this before probably, but that heros gamos, that sacred marriage, they are in balance. We cannot forego the masculine, which is the structure and strategy. We need structure, pricing, and offers. That's the container of your business that's going to hold you in your expansion. So we need the feminine and masculine. We need the container and the current, which is desire, magnetism, and permission, which is the feminine. So these are kind of like pieces that coexist, and what we want to be thinking about when we are turning on around money. And just remember, like, broke and spiritual is not a badge of honor, right? Really, that is just a trauma response wearing a really pretty robe. And it's not something that we should be proud of. Because again, wise women with their pockets lined are the ones who are going to have the impact to change the world for the better. Okay, I'm just going to mention a couple places where you might have money mojo leaks. These, I mean, we could have done an entire call on this, but let's just see. This is like an opportunity to kind of do a diagnostic of where you might be at. So there's one, the apology tax, right, is where we start pre-justifying the rates before anyone even has a chance to say anything. Like, they could be ecstatic about your pricing, but if you start apologizing at the very beginning of the conversation, you are trapped in the apology tax. The second is the invisible discount. So just like friends and family pricing that you keep extending to all of the strangers, right? Like, you have to own your value, own your price. If it turns you on, I am all for discounts. If it means someone being able to be there versus not, I would say sure. But don't, again, it's like the same, it's kind of another tax, right? Don't put the discount in, because that person could be willing to pay even more than what you've priced it at. So the invisible discounts can be another mojo leak. 3 is over delivery as like a repentance. So where you give, you're like, well, I'd be greedy for asking so much. So I can't just give all of the incredible wisdom I already offer. I'm going to give like 10 times more so that I don't feel greedy in charging, again, the value of what I'm offering. So the over delivery as repentance. And then the fourth Mojo leak that I'm just going to mention today is the vanish. And this one's on you. This is because, yes, in sales conversations, our clients can do this, but you have to watch that you're not doing this. When you go quiet or you become unavailable right when it's time to make the pitch or send the invoice to said client. So this is something that people will do also. And it's just like, it's like you've hit capacity, and it's kind of a self-sabotage point, right? Are you able to actually allow yourself to receive, or are you just going to vanish? So see if, just do a little diagnostic, which one feels like yours. Actually, this would be fun. Put it in the chat. Do you feel like you're one, the apology tax, two, the invisible discount? Are you the over delivery queen? Are you the Harry Potter vanishing cloak? Let me know. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the chat. Or if you were like, I'm a totally different one, pop that into Katie, all of them. Oh, you're killing it. Yeah. Over delivery queen, some other self-sabotage in the past. Yeah. And again, over delivery is not a bad thing. Like I know I like to overgive in my containers. I think that's also sometimes a gift, but it's just something to absolutely watch. Dana's fully open to receivership. Love it.
Laughing out loud. I didn't say that. I just didn't resonate with the above. Thank you.
And Aggie, the apologizing while I ask for it. So good. Okay. Okay. Well, as I mentioned, this has to do with our nervous system. This is the great thing, is we are in control of our nervous system. So we'll just play with like a couple different, again, maybe a little diagnostics, but just notice in these body sensations. I mean, there's a lot of pleasure practices we could do. We could do striptease. We could do a stroking practice for this. We could do a sex magic practice. I mean, there's everything we could do. Come and do those in my programs with me. Many of you have gotten to. Some of you are probably still basking in post glow from them, but we're going to do just like, again, I love these calls because the power, we can do the smallest thing and it can have so much resonance. One of you could get off of this call and go, oh my God, you won't believe it. Like, I just got an email. And so this is what I also always want to show, is that it doesn't take a lot to receive the impact and the shift. So I think some of you might have done this with this one with me before too. So everyone just take a second and close your eyes. And we're just going to do a little scan. So I'm just going to say a few different numbers. And as I say them, just notice your inner body sensation. Notice if you feel contraction or expansion. And receive these numbers as perhaps numbers that you've been afraid to charge, and imagine that you are going to make an offer to someone of this price. And again, you're not trying to fix anything. This practice is really like data gathering through your body. So with your eyes closed and just breathing into your body space, I want you to imagine receiving $50 and just notice what comes up in your body. Is there a response? Is there a thought? when you receive $50 from a client. And again, just allowing your breath to flow naturally. You're going to now imagine receiving $500. Picture $500 flowing into your bank account. Might be coming in through an e-transfer from PayPal. Someone could be passing you a good old-fashioned check of $500. And now allowing yourself to imagine $1,500. A client who has just said, I'm so excited to do this work with you. I just wanted you to know I just paid, and the $1,500 is in your bank account from your client for your beautiful, valuable work. How does it feel to receive a payment of $1,500? Okay, and now you're going to picture yourself receiving $5,000. Another client so ecstatic for this offer that you have just given them. They are a fuck yes, they are in. They wanted to pay in full. Well, or I don't know, maybe it's recurring payments, but that $5,000 payment has landed. Picture it there in your bank account. What is it like to receive that $5,000? Notice your breath. Notice your body's language as it communicates with you. Okay, and now picture yourself receiving $10,000. You have a $10,000 payment from a client who's over the moon to have this chance to do your work with you. This could be the first time they're paying you. It could be the fifth time. Maybe they're obsessed with your work. And that $10,000 is there in your bank account. Okay, and now you're going to picture a $50,000 payment from a client who is ready to work with you. $50,000 coming to you. Again, did it come through Stripe? It could have come through Stripe. It could be PayPal. It could have been a bank wire, a check, however it needs to come to you, but it is there, $50,000 in your bank account. Okay, and then just bringing one hand to your heart, one hand down to pussy. And just thanking this beautiful body for the ways that she speaks to you as you walk her through this practice, for the information that she's given you. Okay, let's just do a couple of frames. What came up for people going through that?
Oh, sorry, does Dana want to go first?
No, please, you go first.
I just noticed, I only noticed the top half of my body. My bottom half did not exist. And there was kind of tingling and tightness. And it's like, the $50, pounds, whatever, kind of felt, well, that was a bit uninteresting. And then it it just was fizzing
Mm.
and stuck. And it was pretty much the same response, whatever the amount of money, interestingly. It was just very, albeit the energy was fizzing, there was tightness all along around my arms. And anyway, that was it. So it was a mixture of panic, disbelief, a real range of emotions.
Mm.
There wasn't one
Yeah.
emotion. There was one feeling, but
Yeah.
different emotions.
Okay, gorgeous. I would try to journal and also get down as many of those different sensations that you can remember. Okay, Dana and then Tikva.
So I just felt so grateful for 50. And with each one, it kept increasing because I thought, I mean, I just felt real gratitude to serve. And with each one, by the end, my pussy is buzzing right now. Is because it's like, let's go. The more like we're going to up level together. We've got this. I've got you. Let's go. And like, it was like increasing, like, devotion to like, oh, we're gonna so have this and up level. And I could see it and picture it. And it was like joy. It's of service, the stewardship, up leveling for both of us. And yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I'm buzzing in my pussy.
Okay, this is so good. So I favorite frame like your body's response was so in trust and faith of the upgrades and the let's go and this is of service, like what we're going to be able to do. Okay, great. I love this. Tikva.
Yeah, so it's how I heard so it's like I heard the prompt, like I heard it change, and I'm not saying you changed, I heard it change from like this like receiving money for like client work to receiving money for work that I would be offering that was my work that I created to clients.
Oh.
So the first ones were just like I was judging according to like past um, when I like, used to work in tech and I was able to make $50,000 in a month as a person who did that. But then as soon as I heard it as I was creating my own offering and offering it to people, that's when I started like not breathing a lot. Like
Wow.
it, like, yeah. Mm.
Okay, this is so good because what I love about this is like it's like my body has received that, so it knows what it's like to receive it, but being able to be like, okay, but it's my thing. It's like my gifts and my magic and
Yeah,
such a visceral shift. Okay,
exactly.
love this. I also love that it was for the largest amount. Okay, let's play then with the second practice. So, um, for those sensations, so like Katie, you brought up some good descriptions of what the body might be feeling. So like the contraction, the buzzing. Dana, I think you mentioned buzzing too. So whether it's buzzing and feeling like the expansion or buzzing in just whatever body response, we're just going to do this receiving breath. And again, if you want to bring your eyes to a gentle close and one hand on heart, one hand on pussy is always a great way to sit, just so that you are kind of holding those energy centers that our energy flows from in terms of giving and receiving. So just holding that polar connection. And just noticing your breath for a moment, how in this moment you're not trying to change it and you're just letting it be natural. And just allowing you're welcome to allow the presence of any of those sensations that you were feeling as you think about money. You can also just let yourself just be. And you're going to take a deep breath in and count to 4 on that inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to hold for 4 And as you're holding for this 4 count in your mind saying, I am allowed to be resourced. And then exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just begin as much as you can repeating this as we go with the breath. I am allowed to be resourced. Breathing in for a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling again. I am allowed to be resourced. 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll do it one more time, breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, holding at the top. And just allow yourself to feel like, let the breath move in as easily as this abundance, as the money, as the payments can move to you. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And at the bottom of that breath, just letting your breathing come back to its natural state. And all this does, it's just another way to play with your body to regulate that flinch response that could show up in sales calls. You could literally do that during a call with a client and they would never know. Okay, so here we're going to take a moment to just journal. So if everyone wants to get their journal out, I'm going to put some music on in the background. Actually, let me tell you what we're journaling on first. So the first prompt that you will touch on is, I want you to sit with, where are you performing modesty instead of magnetism in your business right now? And you can also, like, for modesty, it could be like the good girl. Where are you trying to please people? Where are you trying to play safe? Where are you trying to keep people happy? Whatever comes up for modesty with you. Where am I performing modesty instead of magnetism in my business right now? Okay, and then just finish your last sentence on that prompt. And then we'll switch to the second one to follow up, looking at what you just wrote and what was surfacing for you off of that prompt. The next one is, what would the fully paid version of you stop doing this week? Now she knows what she now knows from the first prompt. So what would the fully paid version of you stop doing this week? Okay, and getting your last sentence down for that prompt. And let's just take a second to share some of the things that came up for each of you. Were there any ahas? Or was there any restriction that came up if you had any of the ahas of realizing what you have to stop doing and maybe start doing? Yeah, give it to us, Katie.
I think stop apologizing for everything for myself. For it's just like something I do. I don't know whether it's a habit, whether it's, but it's a behavior that I became aware of when, well, I suppose I've always been aware of it, but especially in Barcelona when when I was just apologizing every time, and it was just painful when I look at it. But equally, knowing that I can change that is good. And where am I performing what? It's like I'd almost, because I tried so hard, I'd given up trying. I'd kind of given up. because
Okay.
I don't know whether it's because I compared myself with one of the girls I trained with who was a very successful what she was doing, her business, or what I saw as successful, and I comparing myself with other people is really shit.
Right.
Doesn't help.
No, we cannot compare because
Yeah.
everyone is at a different place in their own journey. And and this is one of the things that I love about what Regina taught is like if we can actually start seeing those people as driftwood, right? So we can just that's like an alchemy, right? Instead of comparing yourself to this woman who is at a very different place than you, oh, okay, look at she is proof of where I'm going.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, there's so many painful parts of it, I suppose. There's sort of diminishing myself and the desperation to please, the desperation to do something. So all of those I'm kind of, are very active or were very active in my behaviors in trying to share what I do.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love the word choice, the desperation to please.
It really was.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, when the freeze fawn, it was the fawning almost.
Mm, yeah,
That was how I would describe it.
right. Okay, and also like the apologizing, because Aggie brought up the apologizing piece too. I almost feel like, okay, like what can we go in again with the whole group and maybe just put in the chat, but like would everyone say that they would catch themselves apologizing for? If we were to think of all of the ways that we probably are apologizing, I mean, um, we could say, right, Aggie's was you're apologizing for the price. Which we could say apologizing for too much. Which could be too much money, or it could be, oh God, I'm sorry if I was too much. Oh, the over explaining, trying to so the justification. Which, I mean, almost all of these are directly tied to needing to please so far. I would follow the thread down that also how many apologies do we make before we have to apologize for if, oh shit, I made you uncomfortable? Or God forbid, I do something that's so much that actually makes people no longer like me, right? Oh, oh, now I've pushed you away. Great. You're not even in my circle. Okay. Something to just play with. That's like I'm super curious. What are all the ways that powerful women are apologizing? Or maybe there's a point where we stop. And that has to do with money coming to these powerful women. Okay, what else? What else is here? Joanna.
Hi y'all.
Theme.
Um, the ones that like I could feel in my body the most were, this is for the question, what would the fully paid version of me stop doing this week? I would stop not prioritizing my own pleasure and time and energy, and I would stop exhausting myself, like driving myself to exhaustion, especially before even diving into my own stuff, like before diving into my own business stuff. like exhausting myself in so many other ways.
Right.
Um, and then the third one was mentally limiting my own options or creative potential.
Mhm.
Like I'm so creative and there's like a lot of like ideas and inspiration up here, but then I just like it's like put the brakes on and just like believe that that's not feasible or like logical or gonna work out.
So good. So prioritizing your pleasure. And I wonder if you were prioritizing your pleasure, we know then your capacity would be wider and you might not be so exhausted. So you could actually take action on some of those things. Even if your mind still thought, oh God, that seems illogical. Like if you had the capacity, you might be willing to take action. Those are like, that's a great little
Right.
bundle right there. Yeah.
It's like the world is set up, at least for the feminine, at least for women, like to fucking exhaust us before our creative like life force energy can kick in.
Yeah,
And then we're just always like
totally. Well, and as soon as you said exhaustion, I thought, well, and isn't that so perfect for the patriarchy, right? It's like, oh, we did it. They're too exhausted. And so we're safe. They can't, their power can't impact us. Which, I mean, even just say, like, I know all of you women here, and that's just insane because I know how powerful and I know, like the ideas and the intentions and the desires that exist here. Like there is not space for us to be exhausted to get all of this into the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like I feel exhausted right now, like from my matrix job that I've been doing. And I have like this whole desire in my head and like all this stuff written up for a business, but like just keep not getting to it because every day I'm so exhausted.
Oh, so good. Okay. So a few things to cue and shift in your priorities. What I do love about pleasure is, if you can just in that exhaustion, let yourself like fall into bed or fall onto the couch and just promise to just like stroke your pussy, what would come just out of that, right? Like that is the thing that can have just such a massive like cascade effect of changing, just changing the outcome. Okay. So this is good. Lots of information. Well, I'm going to hold all of you to, you've just journaled on this. So what changes can you make as you step out of this container to see what kind of cascade effect? Um, and I will also just say this is like literally exactly the work that we go deeper into in kinky business, just around this money, getting comfortable with it, attracting it. Um, because pricing your worth, it's not going to be a spreadsheet problem that we fix. It's a somatic one. It's in our bodies. So what we want is your body to be able to hold the number and the strategy that will bring it to you. And that is what we do in that container. It is opening in September. So reach out if you wanted to know more about it. The bonus to jumping in right now is that Champagne Chamber is my business mastermind. It is open. It's just always open. You can come in at any time. You can leave at any time. And so if you jump into kinky business, though, you get to come into that right now and be in a room of powerful female business owners and have a space where you can be coached on your business right now. Also, the second round of Sacred Seductress starts next Thursday, which is so juicy. I'm looking at a couple of you babes here who need to come and play with us in this space. it was so good. And so this is the second one. We're just kind of flowing. There's lots and lots of gorgeous goddesses coming from the first round into this one. But would love to have, and anyone who missed the first one, come, don't miss it. It was like, it was so powerful. I was just looking before we hopped on this call and can't get over. We had countless breakups, health crises, job losses, and multiple life relocations. And like none of us even realized that all of that happened because we were all so turned on and juiced up. And the reason that those felt like the small, like those are the big things, but they were the small things because of what happened, because of all the turn on. So you can just come join us in Sacred Seductress. But also if you jump into Kinky Business, a bonus is access to Sacred Seductress. So you can get all of these things before we even open in September. So let me know if that fits for anyone. Would, like I said, would love, love, love to see you in Sacred Seductress, because it was just like with the water hose turned on full blast the whole time. And Kinky Business, I just love lining women's pockets with money. So come if that is something that you're ready for. And other than that, I will also, yes, Dana's been in so many of my juicy containers.
I love your containers and
you're so juicy. You bring so much to them. So I'm so
you're
grateful.
so juicy. Thanks, Shelby.
Talk about capacity. Okay, babes. Well, come join me next Wednesday. I don't know what the theme will be yet. I will share in the thread once I know. If you want something in this on this Wednesday call, just send me a message again in the Modern Priestess thread or directly. And I hope that you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful week. For those camping, have an amazing camping trip, and talk to you, babes, soon. Bye, goddesses.